Alright, good morning everyone. I'm going to try something today a little bit different than how I recently have had a constraint for myself making videos, which is by using the drone and the limit of the drone's battery for my flight. This time I'm just going to narrate things as I see them, because this idea of like thinking in 3D and visualizing a lot of stuff, I want to also make it digestible in an audible format, but hopefully that the sound of what you're hearing and me describing will make you want to look at it and be like, huh? So anyways, so this is Circaevum 0.4.11, because I don't consider a version 1 yet, but actually it's going to be pretty close, so we'll see. This is on the Apple Vision Pro, so you've got this like windowed volume map where you can see these corners, and the idea is that you can have a lot of these kind of apps open. You can have your teams open in a section. You can have your spatial Earth open in its own section. This is a cool app, but half the time it just loads empty. So I gotta close that, open it again. There we go. So, ooh, we got the Earth. Ooh, and one more, actually. Let's see, Carrot. This one's really cool. This one has a 3D globe. It's freaking awesome. And it has weather on it. Yeah, that's right. So we'll do like that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh. You can just spin that around. You got weather. You got precipitation. You got wind. So you see how that changes. And then you also have temperature. Pretty cool to see how cold, it's freaking cold it is right now, and hot it is in Africa. Okay, anyways, so you get multiple apps, as you can see. I didn't mean to close that, but I did. So now we're showing, oh yeah, I didn't fully describe what I was just looking at. I brought up some other apps that were the Earth with weather on it in real time in 3D. And also just another one of like a zoomable Earth. And I can open up that one later. But I'm opening up Circaevum, which is this app I've been building for many years now, to manage and track time. And so basically, I have it connected to a game server where I have the OAuth stuff set up to pull from my different accounts, like my Google account. So you'll see here, if I go into this year, I've got some events for February planned out. Be back home on my birthday on the 12th, and some of the time around then, I think like the 10th to the 15th. So I added a couple events in there. And I can also look at this in a week mode. But this little tube right here is for like your daily experiences. And so how I kind of have it, well, I'm going to flip it around again just to show the longer version. But this is 1 month. So you go like the month of February is like this tube thing, if you will. And maybe we can look at it from above. So you're getting a circle. You're getting the midnight, 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. of events. And the idea is eventually, once I populate all my sleep data, which is kind of one of my next steps, I can look down and just like this curve here will be my sleep routine. And then something similar, if if I want to do the top, that's like my work schedule on the top of the day, like from maybe 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and I'm 9 to 3-ish. And then I've got my long-term events here. So got plans coming up. And I can go back this last year. This is 2024. And right now I should have data on these events, but basically the data for those is so long ago now that I think when I do my query, it doesn't pull from there. So I'll do this is like my logging system. So this is the back end now that we're looking at. I realize I'm probably just describing this as like, this is that. If you're listening only, you're probably like, yeah, Adam, you're not doing a good job of describing this. So let me try that again. But I'll start with this back end database. So I'm looking at a set of modules that looks like the International Space Station a little bit in their layout. And the idea is there's a long corridor, there's a few of them, and then there's smaller like rooms, if you will. And so there will be a corridor. I have one labeled Google corridor, and that's where you can select it. Kind of, I'm working on a lighting system so that when you select it, the lights will kind of like turn on. Right now it just turns yellow. And that will eventually highlight logs particular to that API. And then you can kind of zoom in like further into the individual rooms and see stuff correlated with that. But right now I have all these logs just kind of out in the open on the sides of this cube to show stuff like the calendar collection manager is initialized, and then it processes several different sources. When I click the toggle to turn on Nakama, that pulls events from the database. I'm going to open up my calendar menu again and try to toggle Google. And, well, before I do that, also show what came in from Nakama. So these are all these different events that are kind of came in. It says successfully counted 100 objects. So it returned 100 objects. Here's those 100 objects. It runs off the page, actually. There's other consoles. When I click the Google one, it's going to pop up over here saying what happened. And so there's a little bit of stuff there. I need to move that as well. It's making the request, and then now it's saying, yeah, there's an error. I want that eventually to like show up on like the Google event little room, and have details around the error and that kind of thing. And then eventually I'm going to have something similar for Garmin data, like your heart and sleep rate, or heart rate and sleep, and that kind of stuff. And why don't we just walk closer to the ice so that we can enjoy that while we're doing this. I'm in Brooklyn right now, looking at the sunrise reflect off of downtown Manhattan. At least what you can see from what do you call it? The part of Brooklyn that's like kind of northish a little bit, Westgate or something with a W. Wow, that's not it. Anyways, so you can rotate this cube. You can look around in different ways. You can resize it, kind of, although that functionality is kind of goofy. Although if I resize it, you can see more of the logs. Uh-oh. Wow. That's... Okay. Okay, we're good. We're back. My resizing it didn't work the greatest. And now the app is floating away with the water, with the ice a little bit. So, we're back to the main view. I'll describe, we've got 3 views. We've got, on your left, you've got this annual view, and you can map out your events accordingly. And then on the right, you've got this daily view. And if I hop back up, and it's floating away. Stop it. Come this way. Cover tracking. I just lost tracking because it was fixing too much on the water drifting away. Okay. So, alright, here we go. This is in 2025. Let's shift up. Let's go to October. Yeah. So basically, yeah. On the left, I was saying, of this cube, you've got a vertical cylindrical system. And what you're looking at is the Earth's orbit around the sun, but with a vertical axis for time. So it's going to go around here and basically follow that trajectory. And then on the right, you have a 24-hour circadian rhythm kind of view. Ah, this is a little noisy. Let's go back to October. And then from here, you have midnight at the bottom. So it's kind of like you have the Earth in the middle. Say the sun's coming from above, so you're going to have more light showing, and eventually an actual Earth. You've got midnight at the bottom. It goes up to 6 a.m. on the left, noon at the top, and 6 p.m. on the right, or 1800 hours. The idea is that you can view your circadian rhythm in this way by them all kind of like spiraling into the next day, vertically distance out at you. And then closer to me, in front of me, is kind of a zoomed out time span of the planets for 100 years. So the blue right here is Earth, and then Mars is around it with red, and etc. with the other planets. So that is that. Hopefully that helped. I made a lot of updates since the last version, which I'll try to show. And let's see what we can get showcasing to show what doesn't work here. Actually, I kind of missed this because I had the events mapped kind of better. But there's also a lot of stuff that doesn't work. So, mapping that out. And, oh yeah, the data wasn't even coming in for these. Or no, it's not mapping because it doesn't have the current no, it's working. It's just not aligning very well. Anyways, so this is pretty glitchy. It's not even reacting, and it's offset. So I gotta figure that out. I think it also breaks when you're, yeah, that whole rotation breaks when you change the angle. Alright, so anyways, that's that. And, okay, now this is destroyed. And those are some big dogs. Alright. Well, so that's, oh yeah, and then I added an event panel system, so you can kind of like read if there's an event going on. I need to fix this a little bit. I can kind of interact with it, but I can't do the scrolly stuff. It's still only interacting with that planet thing, so got more to work on there. Alright, and there we go. Thank you.